Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. There's Porter. Gonna be changing out a garbage disposal. So I kind of got it disconnected and everything. The power's off because the switch is down. When the switch is down, the power is off. I'm gonna come back over here. This is the new badger that we're gonna be putting in. I'll try to show you step by step how I do it. But first things first, I'm gonna take out the old one. Some come with the plug. This one doesn't have plug. Let me shut that radio off so you can hear what I'm saying. So some kind of a plug. This is hardwired in. So we're gonna disconnect that and take it out. So what I usually do to take these out, let's see if I can show you. So right there's a good angle to see. I'm gonna climb up under there. I'm gonna take this, use the garbage disposal wrench, this wrench right here, to take that down. This is already disconnected, and the only thing holding that up is up above. So this is already disconnected. That's off. That's just free to kind of sit in there. So I'm gonna crawl up under here, take it down and drop it down nice and easy. Come up here, put a wrench in any one of these. Just kind of tug it. Once you got it snug, now just wiggle it a little bit. And that comes right down. So we got that part down. And we're gonna take this one out because we're using a different one. So let's pull this out now. Just loosen that up with our channel locks and get that out of there. Just that thing is kind of loose. So let's yeah, I don't want to pull on the pipe itself. Let's just get that out of there for the time being. Now, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect the wire on the back of the disposal. See that piece right there? That's if you had a dishwasher. So this has a knockout. But the only reason why you knock that knockout out is if you had a dishwasher. So it looks like they might have had a dishwasher and maybe took it out, or the disposal came somewhere else and they put it in there from when they had a dishwasher. But that's the only time you knock that little knockout out, if you're utilizing a dishwasher. But I'm gonna take that off and keep that because that's could come in handy somewhere else. Just unscrew that, just like that. Kind of wiggle it left and right. There you go. Take that off. Next step, it's called a splash guard. Those are interchangeable. So let's flip this upside down. Loosen up this. You saw the corrosion in there. We're gonna loosen up this Romex connector right here and get that wire out of there. So I'm gonna get the screwdriver and back these screws out enough to get that Romex out of there. See what I'm doing? Just back it out. Looks like that's about good enough. Just from the same exact way. Once you take these wires off, you have successfully detached the disposal. And then we put the new one in, it's just reversing the same exact process. Now we got some space in there. Kind of gingerly pull your wires through. Remember, this is 12. This is 12 too, so it's a little rigid, but you're just gonna take your time and pull it through nice and gentle. Yeah, it's a little friendly persuasion, but it'll come. I guess we gotta take off this ground wire too. They gotta let's take this ground wire off. It's kind of corroded there. That's not gonna come off like that, so we're gonna break that off. Or cut it off, either or. Just cut it off, that's all. Just trying to get that off of there. You're fighting against the wind. Now we're just gonna gingerly pull these wires through. Make sure you don't snag your fingers on anything. That's why I don't wear any rings on my finger, because you really could hurt yourself. Keep this. We're gonna take this Romex connector off and put it on the new disposal. So just turn it out just like that. Comes out. Keep that. It's still good. Take the disposal. This is pretty much scrap metal at this point. You can always save the splash guard if you want to, but the new one comes with a splash guard. Comes already in the box, just like this. All set to go. These line up with the other one, so you don't have to change nothing up there, because this is the same exact model. This is how it would look if you had to install that. If you don't know how to install this, read the instructions. There's a little slip ring in there that you have to pop out. These screws tighten it up. Make sure you tighten them up evenly. But when you put this on, make sure you put, guess what you're putting around the edge of this at the bottom. You can put plumber's putty. Some people put silicone, but plumber's putty works a little bit better. The other most important thing too is that little cardboard ring right there. That's called a friction ring. That ring goes underneath, not on the top, just so you know. That little cardboard ring right there is the friction ring that goes underneath. This little ring here is that little retainer ring that pops it in and holds it in place. But watch this on this side here. It's this ring. One day we'll show you how to do that if we ever have to do one. So now, I flip this disposal upside down. I'll take this screw off. There's a little Phillips head screw right there. That's where you, and this is where your garbage disposal wrench goes. If your disposal has one of these hex slots underneath, make sure that it's unplugged or off before you do this. There's a reset first. Always hit the reset. If you hear some humming, stop. And then you spin this kind of back and forth like that until you loosen up all of the particles inside there. And then you're good to go. But reset first. If you hear any humming, if it don't spin, shut it off right away. Try to free it up and do it that way. But that's another video. Now, taking this little screw off, Phillips head screw. Take that off. Take that out. Expose your two wires right there. Screw our Romex connector back in, nice and steady. Don't cross thread it. Screw it all the way in, snug it, and then tighten it. That's pretty good. Now the purpose of this is to keep the wire from pulling through. Because if you didn't have this, the wire would be so freely to move up and down, in and out, and then it could come disconnected. Only purpose that's for. Loosen up our ground screw a little bit. Negative and positive. I think I'm going to clean this off a little bit because there's a little copper there like a little corrosion. I want to clean that so it's clean. And that's gonna just get something to clean it like this right here. This little Brillo will clean that. It should clean it anyway. We'll see. This helps with a better connection, that's all. As long as you see copper, it looks pretty good. As long as you can see that copper, because you want to have a copper to copper connection. You don't want to have anything in between. These are brand new, so you don't have to worry about those. This is actually I'm not sure if it can't be aluminum. Maybe they tinted it with flux. Maybe this is copper, but they tinted it with flux. That's what it looks like. We're gonna stick these wires back into the disposal, nice and gently. Put a little curve to it so it kind of curves the way you want it to go. So let's do this. Let's give it a little more curve to it, just like that. And once you get them in there, just feed it. Make sure the ground wire goes in there too. Kind of feed it so it goes all the way around and back up again. Just like that. Now, I'm going to tighten up these screws so this Romex doesn't move. Keep it right, that's right where I want it, so I want to keep it right there. We're basically just reversing the steps. It's nice and snug, so that means that's not going to pull out of there. I'm going to put a little hook around this ground wire. So get my little needle nose out. I always carry the Gerber. I'm just going to put a little hook right around this, nice and gently. Always go clockwise around the screw. That's really important. So now that we're clockwise, let me push this all the way down so we're around the right way. Because I'm there, but I'm not quite around it the way I want to be. Okay, now that we're around the screw, and the reason why we go clockwise, because you're turning the screw clockwise, and that so the screw doesn't come off the wire doesn't come off the screw. So keep it in that place. Okay, nice and snug. That's what we want. Nice and snug clockwise around. And you got your black, your white, and your white. You're gonna get your wire nuts. I happen to have some yellow ones over here somewhere. So I got these yellow wire nuts, which are pretty good. Let me see if you can see these. The old one is probably still usable, but it has some rust in there. So we're just gonna discard that one and get rid of it. And start off with black to black. We'll give it a small twist. Well, no, I'm not gonna twist the copper. I'm gonna twist this one around the copper though. Just give it a bend around the copper. If there was both copper, I would twist them. But as long as this goes around like a little bit, push this one up a little bit higher like that, and that'll make the final connection like that. It'd be perfect. Some people twist it. You could twist it. Actually, you're supposed to twist it, but it's because it's two different strands of wire, they're not going to twist that well. Same thing with the white. I'm going to put the white on here. Same exact thing. Just kind of wrap it around a little bit just to give it some catch. And then tighten these up nice and snug. Some people put tape on it, but you don't have to put tape on it. As long as when you pull these wires, they don't come loose like that. And then you don't want to see no copper coming out the bottom. If any copper is showing at the bottom, then you didn't do it correctly, then you have to do it over. Because that could shut out when you stick it inside, just so you know. Just like that. And that's inside. Put this cover back on. Same exact way you took it off. Slide it in like that, nice and snug. Tighten this up. Now this is the part that a lot of people mess up on. Let me see if I can show you guys. Because I see a lot of maintenance technicians, they screw this up all the time. They screw this up in the worst case can ever be. So in order for your water to go into this slot, they give you some components here. So you have this rubber gasket. This rubber gasket goes in like this. It does not go over this. I see too many people sliding it over this thing all the way to the end and putting it on this way. It does not go that way. Don't do that. It's incorrect. You maintenance techs that do this, you plumbers that do this, it's wrong. Do not do that. It goes in like this. Just like that. In that little groove. And with the combination of this, with this little flange, and the two screws on the side, you have a watertight connection, just like that. Now, I'm not going to tighten this up until I get the disposal up there because it makes it easier for me to install the disposal with this being free. So, when I'm up there, I'm using a flathead, or I could use my, do I have the right socket for that? I don't think I do. No, I don't have it with me. You could use, if you had the right socket, you could use the actual socket. But now let me get some room so I can climb up here. Keeping this wrench in my hand, this wrench is going to be very important. Okay, get down on my side. I'm going to flip this up. I'm going to make sure that this part is facing towards me. So let's do that. Let's get this wire up. Get that wire around. Make sure that's facing towards me. Now I gotta find these grooves. This is always the hard part because you gotta kind of push up and turn at the same time. So look for my opening. I see my opening. You guys can't see what I'm doing though, can you? somewhere right there. This thing's not. Why is it not moving freely? No. This thing should be moving freely. I don't know why it's not. It's not supposed to lock in place like that. Let's see what we got going on here. It has to. Let's pull out the splash guide for a second. A little beveled edge, but that shouldn't. I wonder why they got that piece in. I mean, that's supposed to probably be in another groove then, if that's the case. Okay, let's just find that groove and drop it in there, because if there's a groove that this is supposed to drop into. And maybe it's not supposed to be in that groove. Like, if it's in that groove, it's not going to move properly. But then, I think they put that there so for you to push up on it. Let's do it like that. I can't tell what you guys can see, so let's see what you guys can see through here. I guess you can see what I'm doing. This is the part that I just take my time doing, because that's facing this way. See, the thing I don't like about this thing is keeping my disposal from moving, and I don't know why the other ones never had that lock ring here like that. That ring is preventing me from turning this disposal, which I don't know if that's like a new design they put that in there, because the old ones don't have that. Let's see why they put that in there. The old ones don't have that ring. Yeah, the old ones don't have that. So why are they putting that ring in there? That makes it difficult to turn. Because that ring is making it very difficult to turn this. You can't turn it unless you spin the disposal. If you spin the disposal, you're not lining this up with the right thing. So why is that? So I could take off this ring, put the other ring on, and it'll work fine. So that's probably the best thing to do. Unless I grind this piece off. Because I don't see why they put that locking piece in there. It doesn't have a purpose other than keeping the disposal in one position. And it's difficult to install the disposal with that little locking ring like that. So Badger did that, but not realizing that these things line up differently. So see how this one spins? That's the way it's supposed to spin and not lock. If that thing locks, that means I only got so many angles I can use. And I can't angle it the proper way, so I cut that piece out. Which I don't know why Badger put that on there. That's not good. At least this way I can line up my disposal, get my locking pieces, and just lock it in. See how easy that is? Make sure all three is locked in. It's locked in. This little groove, let me show you what I'm talking about. This little groove, it drops into a slot, and it makes it impossible for you to move the disposal around. That little, see that little notch right there where my thumb's at? That notch drops into the disposal and locks in that place. So you can't spin it because it's already locked. You can spin the disposal, but when you spin the disposal, you don't have it where you want it. So that's not good. I don't know why Badger made that design. And you can easily just cut it out, bend this out, and take it out. But why is it there in the first place? I don't know. That's provided if your disposal is a certain way, it'll work fine. But if it's not a certain way, it won't work fine. So let's open this up a little bit. Let's open that up enough that we can get this in there. And we're gonna turn this. Let's see, we are right. Are we right? Well, I think we're right where we want to be at. Hold on, let me do this. Let me take this all the way out. Because sometimes there's a little plastic piece that, okay, it did go through. See that little plastic piece right there? You want that piece to go through. That's where you tighten up against, this little piece here. See the little ring that's on there? That ring's gonna give you a watertight seal. So it's in, just like that. And you can push it down, push it up as high as you want it. So I usually get this lined up first before I do anything else. Oh, I see. They got some. What is that? This is not the one that you can slide down. Yeah, so whatever you have, you're at that point. So long as we line up, we're good. Did we line up? We're a little bit. Well, hold on. Let's find out. Let's put a screw in. And see if the other screw lines up. The two screws lined up, then we're good. Just want to turn these in nice and gentle. We got one in. Let's see if the other one lines up. The other one looks like it might. Should have did this one first because I could see this one a lot better than this one over here. So let's do this one first. It would help if I use the flashlight, wouldn't it? Let's use the flashlight so we can see what we're doing. Alright. Let's see how this one looks. As long as these line up. So that's like a fraction of an inch off though. Let's see how much am I off. I'm off by Actually, I'm not off by it. I'm off. Actually, I have it. I just gotta push this down. That's all. I see what's going on. If I just push this down, I can get that in there. I just had it by looking at it. I'm not a lefty, so it's. I think that's it right there. Just off by a fraction. A small fraction. A very small fraction. Like that. Let's line up straight now. So everything is straight. I didn't tighten this up yet, so keep in mind I didn't tighten that top part up yet. That's tightened in. I haven't done a disposal in a while, so that's in there. Now, get my garbage disposal wrench and snug this up. Just snug it. Don't over tighten it. Just snug it so it. Make sure all those are locked in place, which they are. Perfect. Tighten this up. Snug this up, nice and snug. Always keep your pair of channel locks with you. That's your go-to wrench. Get snug. Looks like we're in there. We don't knock this out because we're not using the dishwasher, so that stays plugged. Now, I'm just gonna run some water through and make sure we have no leaks, which we shouldn't, but let's check to make sure. No leaks on that side. Got a little leak on the other side. So that's probably because this piece needs to be snugged up. We can snug this piece back up in there. Let's snug this back up. Let's see how that is. If there's no leaks, then we're tested for operation. I think we're good as far as leak-wise. Now we're gonna hit the disposal, make sure it works, and we're out of here. Alright, it's a good sound. I think everything's back as normal. We're gonna be off to the next job. Catch you guys on the next one. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay.